Welcome back to Blizzard Abroad. So I recently had a very, very good conversation with a brother, and he said, I've known him a while, and he said, like, why don't on your channel you always address men? You're always talking about the flaws that men have. Men need to fix themselves. Men, men, men. He said, what about the woman? What? Why don't you address the women? They need to fix themselves. These modern women, Western women. Basically, he just hit me. He just ran down like all the manosphere, red pill, talking points. So, we ended up having a good conversation, man. I told him my reasons, and you know, it ended up being a very good conversation because honestly, I don't like to debate. I like to just have conversations. I think debates usually just turn into arguments. I'd rather just have a good conversation, and in the end, even if we still don't agree, maybe we learn something or not. But like that's the kind of conversation that was. Um, he didn't agree with everything that I said. I didn't agree with everything he said, but we seen where each other were coming from. So I like to just, I said, I'm gonna address that because maybe other people are wondering, and I know I brought it up before, but I never really like went really deep into it. So these are the reasons why I don't address women as the main issue when I talk about men. All right. Number one, um, I'm not a woman. I've never been one. I believe that we all have the same emotions, men and women, um, but we're so different. We're equal, but we're different. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't want to know what it's like to walk around as a woman. And I'm pretty sure women don't want to know what it's like to walk around as a man. Maybe some do, but I don't want to experience life through um, what a woman has to go through. Um, Two, I only um, I only correct and provide for the woman in my life that fall under my protection. I'm not in the habit of addressing women that I don't know, that I don't already have relationships with. A lot of guys who get up here and they pander to women. That's not me. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love women. I love all types of women. I love foreign women, modern women, Western women, big women, small women, um, all type. I love women. Period. You know, but I don't have a problem with every woman. You know, if I have an issue with a woman, um, that's usually just a one-on-one situation. I wouldn't take any of my past relationships, um, any of the problems that I've been through in my relationships, and put them on to a whole group of women. You know, that's what I see a lot of in the manosphere, and that's kind of where I split in ideals from the manosphere. I don't focus on women. I've been through a lot of the same things that they have. My outlook is different. I've been divorced. I've been drugged through the child support system. I've paid child support. I've been through bad breakups. I've been cheated on. I've cheated on. I've been through it all, ups and downs in relationships. But that was those relationships. None of my relationships have been the same. They've all been different. They all belong in their own little compartment. you know so I would never pick my bags up from one relationship and then drop them at the feet of the woman in another relationship. And that's what I see happening in the manosphere. That's what I try to avoid. I see guys that are upset with maybe one woman in their life or two women in their lives. They have bad relationships, and it's legitimate. It's valid points that they have, but you can't take that one or two or three relationships and blame every woman for that, you know? And also, I have been on some type of journey. I can't explain it, but I've been like trying to be so accountable lately. Um, and it's one hell of a journey, man. When you're constantly looking back in and constantly self-reflecting and trying to improve and becoming so self-aware that you see how you're gonna react to situations before they even happen. Um, that's like mind blowing. It's very eye opening. That's kind of what I've been doing. And I'm gonna tell you this: ever since I've been doing that and really focusing on my own energy, I've been a different person. Like there's not one person right now, honestly, in this world that I'm upset with right now, that I have a beef with, that I have a grudge with. I've never experienced that before. There are people that I don't talk to, I guess, but I've been able to just walk away from situations and not look back. Stressful situations, painful situations. Um, my focus is on the inner self, and that's what I'm doing in my life. So that's what I'm coming up here sharing. I'm not reading something in a book. I'm not pulling stuff out of the ether. You know, I'm just sharing what I'm trying to do in my own life. I'm focusing on myself. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to stay undistracted. I've gotten rid of 99% of the energy vampires in my life. I, I've been focusing on myself, you know, and I only know that through the eyes of being a man. So that's why I talk to men. And it's not like I'm saying anything that's uh, new. It's all common sense. It's all common knowledge, you know. Um, but I have been realizing that, maybe common sense isn't common. And I never believed that before until I got behind this mic and started speaking and really started paying attention, you know. But it's just I focus on men, because I'm a man, so I understand what you guys are. I understand what we as men are going through, but I also understand that the consequences for us are far more deadlier, are far more serious. It's us that are self-deleting at alarming numbers. It's us that are deleting others at alarming numbers. We're the vast majority of perpetrators of violent acts, but we're also the vast majority of victims of violent acts. The vast majority of self deletions, and the age is getting younger and younger. So maybe what I'm saying is not fit for you, and that's okay, because like I keep saying that I'm noticing when I look at the demographic that watches my videos the most, it's 25 to 35. That's the highest. So it's like younger viewers. I don't know why, but you know, if they're gravitating to me, and that's not like I get a ton of views, but that's who's watching the most. So maybe what I'm saying is resonating with those guys. And honestly, they probably need to hear it more than somebody my age or older. Because maybe they haven't made the mistakes that we've made yet. Maybe they're on the edge of making a mistake that we've made, and they can hear somebody say, "Hey, wait a minute, bro. Focus on yourself before you go down that path, that 20-year path that I had to go through and then start my life over again. Like, I'm focusing on myself. I wish I don't regret the path that I've taken to get where I'm at right now. Even though I'm still out here, I'm still busting my ass trying to make a way. You know, I don't regret anything. But if I could go back, I would be a little bit more selfish. I would focus on myself. So it's not really that I'm focusing on just men. I'm focusing on myself, and then I'm just talking to you guys, and if somebody learns something from it, then I'm happy. Because honestly, getting behind this mic, I'm an introvert. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an introvert, but I'm kind of weird in the fact that, I'm an introvert, but I have no social awkwardness. You know, I can talk to people, I can interact with people, but if given the choice, I would probably just chill by myself. So that's kind of like, I don't know what that is called, but that's it. Men's consequences are far more serious. So that's why we need to talk to men. We do. We need to talk to men, you know. And they're like, you got guys, they'll say, oh, the United States has a great social safety net. It does, but a lot of times for men, it doesn't work. There's not a lot of shelters out there. There's not a lot of homeless shelters for men. Men, I go a block down the street and I could show you a a homeless man sleeping in a hallway outside. Can't even call it a hallway, a doorway, a block from where I'm, all around my city. You know, tent city in the woods over there. It's those are men. So yeah, women women don't have a problem seeking help. Women have spaces to go to get help. When they need to. Women form groups that they where they can rely on each other. Men typically don't. It's us that are scared to reach out for help because of some stigma, by the way, that's placed on us by other men. You could say society at large, but it's other men that taught us that it was weak to cry, to need help. You know, a perfect example is the last video I made. I didn't make that video to hit out at that guy, to embarrass him, to attack him. I wish the best for that guy. I made it because he just made comments that I disagreed with. But the comment section it is what it was. I'm not apologizing for what I said. I meant every word I said. But up and down that comment section was, oh, you should never need someone. You know, I would never help an expat. And that attitude is dangerous. That that attitude is the reason why men don't reach out for help. I'm sorry. Um, I think that's just the wrong attitude. It's the wrong message to send because we've all been in a position at one point in our lives, and if we're honest, that we have needed help from someone else in some way, shape, or form. It's not always money. You know, you shouldn't be ashamed to need help. We've all been there. We're human. We shouldn't be ashamed to say we're wrong. We failed. We're designed to fail. We're humans. That is how the brain learns. So if you don't leave room to at least admit that you're wrong, then you'll never learn anything because that is human, right? We have human emotions, joy, pain, sorrow. Those are human emotions, not female emotions. We're all born with those emotions. There's nothing wrong with feeling them. This is why I talk to men. Because we won't talk about this stuff. We won't talk about it. And it's hurting us. It's killing us. You know. I don't think I need to tell a woman that if she feels sad, she needs to go talk to somebody. You don't have to tell a woman that. They're gonna do it. That's in their nature. They're going to do it. Believe me. Mess up with your girl tonight. Mess up and do something wrong tonight with your girl and see if she don't reach out to 3, 4 friends and the mama. They all know she reaches out instinctively when she needs help, when she's going through something, when she's feeling pain and sorrow. Women don't need to hear that from me. Men do. So that's number one. And then that's why I don't talk to women. And then there's also the reason why I don't talk about women a lot. And that's because I don't think women are our men's biggest problem. I think we are. One, ourselves. Two, other men. Men bully men. Shit, we bully ourselves too. My biggest foe is the man looking back at me in the mirror every day. That is my biggest foe. That is the guy I have to overcome. His fear, his hesitation, you know. That guy in the mirror, man, you know, his procrastination, his unwillingness to learn that sometimes, his stubbornness, you know, his ego, his attitude. That guy in the mirror, you know. And then it's the other guys that honestly just look around, man. Look around in these comment sections. If you're social media, who's doing the bully, who's doing the bullying, who's doing the trolling the majority of the time? Men. Who's attacking, who's fighting in our arena, in our genre? Men, you know. So yeah, we need to focus on ourselves. We need to get ourselves right. For one, we need to get ourselves right. You know, we need to fix ourselves before looking outside. So I don't talk about women. I don't worry about a woman being there when I need one. I don't worry about it. They will be there. You know, they will. But if that was my only focus, then what about all the other shit that I got going on in my life? I'm not putting a woman before my purpose ever again in life. I'm not. If she's not willing to follow along my path with me, then I will leave her behind. That is just is what it is. I've done it before. I've done it the wrong way before. You know, I have veered off my path so many times in the past. You know, and we tend to let women do that. We tend to let women um, take our purpose and turn it into theirs. And it's on us. That's on us because a woman doesn't have any power over us that we don't give to them. You know, let that sink in. A woman doesn't have any power over you that you don't give to them. That's the only power they have over us. A random woman can't make me do shit. A random woman out can't make me provide, protect, and provision for her. You know, I choose that women because we're the ones that pursue. We're the one that pursue these relationships, right? You hear it all the time. These are all the manosphere phrases. We're the hunters, right? So if we end up with the wrong women, you know, don't we deserve some of the blame, right? What are our standards? Or are we just operating off of preferences? Because those are two different things. Standards are non-negotiables. Standards are saying this must happen, this must not happen. That's a standard. Preferences is saying I like this, I want this, but if I can't have it, I'll take this. That's a preference, right? What are we operating off of? Beauty is a preference. Ethnicity is a preference. Country of origin is a preference. These are facts. These are facts. You know, I've man, I've ignored my standards so many times. So I'm not saying anything that I haven't done. I've ignored my preferences in the past so many times. I've ignored red flags. I've operated off of preferences before. I fell for the big butt and the smile so many times and ended up miserable in the end. I veered off my path so many times that now I'm just like, if you're not going where I'm going, I may veer off that a little bit, but nah, you got to be headed in the same direction, or I'm just going to keep it moving because I've done it so many times. You know, I have veered off the path so far, taken so many exits, you know, and then when that ride was over, I didn't even know how to get back to my purpose. I was lost. I had to start all over again. And I'm not saying all, but a majority of us have done it if we're honest with ourselves. So your purpose has to come first. Your purpose has to come first. Your happiness has to come first. I'm the most important person in my life now. And it's the truth. But saying that even now doesn't feel right because it goes against everything we've learned. It goes against everything that has been taught to us. So that's why I don't talk about women because we got other things to handle first. And then two, they're not going anywhere. Right. But just like a woman, just like we can't blame women for all of our problems, we also can't make them the salvation for us. You know, we have to take care of that part. We have to fix ourselves. Right? No woman is gonna change your bad habits, right? Your bad decision making, the bad choices that you make. A woman's not gonna change that. You know, even if they're there for a support system, we still have to do the work. We have to work on ourselves inside, right? It's like putting a band-aid on a deep wound. It's temporary. Anything outside of you is temporary. The work's done inside. So you can't put a band-aid on a deep wound. You need to let it heal the right way. You need the right medication. You need the right treatment. And a lot of us are walking around with deep wounds in us. We need to fix that first before looking outside of ourselves. Because if we don't, then we're just creating more broken relationships wherever we go. bringing more hurt and damage wherever we go. And believe me, just packing a bag and getting on a plane is not the answer. I've said it a bunch of times. Calvin said it a bunch of times. Just getting on a plane is not the answer, because the destination isn't the goal, right? Just because you left the matrix, it doesn't mean anything if you're still applying the matrix principles to your life, right? We want to be better people. We want to be the best men we could be. We want to be better men. We want a better life. We don't want the same life in just a different place. That's why I don't focus on women. Focus on us. Because the better we make ourselves, the better people we become, the better energy we are able to put out, the better people we attract to us. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, Blizzard Abroad.